fresh crop grapes. Hi, it's John Steffi for ProduceGeek.com, and we're in early June, and I just want to share with you some of the things that I'm excited that are about now being in season. And the first off is fresh crop grapes. So Mexico often has their fresh crop grapes come into season during mid-May to late May. This year, because of cool weather and some of the weather patterns, it is late, and the grapes have just not, the sugars haven't come up, so we're about 2 weeks later than normal, but now they're finally here at the beginning of June, and some of the first varieties that you'll find on organic and conventional seedless grapes for this part of the year is the red flame and the green pearlette. There will be some other varieties available, especially on the greens, and we'll talk about that in a minute, but first off, the red flame. Don't let the small size of this round red skin berry deter you from eating them. In my mind, I would much rather enjoy a grape that is crispy, crunchy, sweet, and flavorful than a big grape that's kind of mushy or just doesn't have the right, texture. So that's why I love these red flames. They have that crisp pop in your mouth, sweet tart flavor. With the flame variety, I'm looking for nice, healthy green stems. And when I look at the package, I want to make sure there's no wetness or leaking in there. And if I can feel a berry and it feels firm when I'm squeezing in the package, that's a wonderful sign. I keep my grapes refrigerated, rinse them, wash them, and then they're ready to eat. Grapes are packed out in the field, so even these organic ones, you're going to want to wash the grapes because they just have all that field dust from several months of growing, and so wash your grapes. The other variety that is common here at this time of year, late May, early June, is the green pearlette, and these are what you'll find in the store mostly right now. Again, small round variety, some of the earliest to ripen. They have a nice crispness, fairly crunchy, but they're definitely a tart sweet grape more than a sweet tart grape. I would call them more tart than sweet. They can get very sweet, but then they start to discolor a little bit. But one thing is you're going to get a nice textured grape. Again, I'm looking for fresh green stems. Does the berry feel firm? And off we go. There's something about fresh grapes. You're not going to get the size on these varieties. That'll come later in the season, and I'll show you more of those as they become available. But fresh grapes, enjoy. Organic and conventional from Mexico, and also the southern growing region of Mexico in the Coachella area. They're actually not behind schedule quite as much as Mexico, so they're coming into season here soon. Peaches are back. Fresh USA peaches are back, and I think that's a wonderful thing. Here I have some yellow organic peaches from California and some white organic peaches from California. And the yellow and white is referring to the flesh. Most people are familiar with the yellow and not so familiar with the white flesh peach. White flesh peaches can be eaten both firm, when the peach is firm, so it's crunchy and firm, but also sweet, or you can let it soften at room temperature and it'll become more creamy and juicy. This one is right out of the refrigerator, and I say refrigerator, I mean from shipping across the country, and so this is a very fresh peach. A little bit of crunch, but just a nice sweet flavor. It's low acid. The white flesh variety is very popular in Asia, white flesh varieties of peaches and nectarines. But that's the wonderful thing. You don't have to wait I got to wait for this to soften up to be just right. No, you can eat them right away. Or if you don't get to them, they'll still be good. At home, I recommend storing them on your counter. Home refrigerators don't keep them quite at the right temperature. So counter's best. Yellow flesh peaches, on the other hand, you need to let them soften a little bit at room temperature after they've been picked to allow the acids and sugars to balance out so you get that right flavor. Homegrown peaches, where it's picked at the orchard in the summertime and then sold at room temperature, never refrigerated. Those are the very, very best. But only a few of us are able to access that at certain moments of the year. So most of us are getting peaches that have been picked, become refrigerated, shipped across the country. But after you buy them, I recommend keeping them at room temperature until you're ready to eat them. So this one is firm. I don't want to jam my fingers into it, but if I give it a gentle squeeze, it doesn't give it all. So I'm going to let that be out at room temperature for quite a while, because this is what it would eat like. It's not completely crunchy, but definitely a lot more acidic flavor than sweet at this point. On the other hand, this one's been at room temperature for almost a week. This one's a different variety, by the way. This one has a little bit more red in the flesh, but creamy texture already. That's really good. It's had a chance to soften. The sugars and acids have balanced out so much as it has ripened at room temperature. So that's probably what you're going to want to do. You don't have to do that with the white, but the yellow you do. Here's the other thing about early season peaches. They are not freestone, meaning the flesh clings to the pit. So you are going to have to cut the flesh off around the pit, or eat it off with your teeth and kind of suck around that pit. Later in the year, the varieties start to become freestone, and then that's wonderful because you can just cut, twist, and the pit comes right out. But early varieties, particularly in June, are not freestone. Hey, for what's best right now, keep up with us on our social media. Share fruit with a friend, everybody. Enjoy summer. It's coming.